Welcome to Xi Jinping Briefing. The content of the briefing includes your evening briefing, Haley assails Trump over NATO remark. The world needs more belts and more roads, Chinese style. Philippines President Marcos to give rare speech to Australia's parliament. Your evening briefing, Haley assails Trump over NATO remark. Bloomberg. Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, criticized former President Donald Trump for his comments about not standing in the way of Russia if it attacked a NATO member that hadn't paid its full share. Haley called it a mistake for Trump to side with Russian President Vladimir Putin over America's allies. Bitcoin hit $50,000 for the first time in over 2 years, driven by optimism about the U.S. approval of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. Private equity firms, including Carlyle Group, are tying the pay of dealmakers and senior employees more closely to investment outcomes. Israel launched more airstrikes on Gaza, prompting international condemnation and calls for Israel to do more to protect Palestinian civilians. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was admitted to critical care with a bladder issue. The most expensive multi-strategy hedge funds are keeping most of the profits they generate while clients shoulder their costs. Herbert Wigwe, co-founder of Nigeria's biggest bank, died over the weekend. Trump's plans for a second term and Biden's tough new measures for China are both bad news for Chinese leader Xi Jinping and his struggling economy. The world needs more belts and more roads, Chinese style. SCMP opinion. Parag Khanna, founder and managing partner of FutureMap, a global strategic advisory firm, has defended China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, as an ideal model of infrastructure development in a world of instability and unpredictability. Khanna argues that the BRI provides alternative infrastructural connectivity and pathways, allowing for a more resilient movement of goods and trade. He also suggests that the BRI contributes to global systemic resilience in global markets. Khanna acknowledges the serious problems facing China, such as demographic decline, food and energy insecurity, failing growth models, and worsening authoritarianism, but believes that China has the capacity to weather these challenges better than other countries. Philippines President Marcos to give rare speech to Australia's parliament. Bloomberg. Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will address a joint sitting of Australia's parliament on February 29, a rare honor previously accorded to leaders such as U.S. Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush and Chinese leader Xi Jinping. The move reflects Australia's deepening ties with Southeast Asian nations amid strategic competition in the region. The Philippines is an important partner for Australia as it seeks like-minded nations to counter China's increasing regional influence. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news and analysis from around the globe. Let's dive right into it. Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, has criticized former President Donald Trump for his comments regarding NATO and Russia. It's not every day you see a member of your own team taking shots at the captain, but Haley called it a mistake for Trump to side with Putin over America's allies. In other news, Bitcoin reached a milestone by hitting $50,000, driven by optimism about U.S. approval of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. Looks like digital currency is on a roll. Moving on, private equity firms are changing their compensation structure to tie the pay of dealmakers and senior employees more closely to investment outcomes. It seems like they're finally realizing that performance should dictate rewards. Meanwhile, Israel launched more airstrikes on Gaza, which has drawn international condemnation and calls for more protection of Palestinian civilians. Conflict in the Middle East continues to be a contentious issue. In other updates, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was admitted to critical care with a bladder issue. Let's hope he gets back on his feet soon. And it seems like the most expensive multi-strategy hedge funds are keeping most of the profits they generate, while clients shoulder the costs. Talk about a one-sided deal. Lastly, Herbert Wigwe, co-founder of Nigeria's biggest bank, sadly passed away over the weekend. Our condolences go out to his family and loved ones. Now, let's talk about China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. Parag Khanna, founder of FutureMap, has defended the BRI as an ideal model of infrastructure development in a world of instability and unpredictability. He believes that the BRI provides alternative infrastructural connectivity and pathways, contributing to global systemic resilience. While China may face its own challenges, Khanna argues that it has the capacity to weather them better than other countries. Well, let's hope the world gets more belts and roads, Chinese style. Lastly, Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will be giving a rare speech to Australia's parliament, joining the ranks of leaders such as Obama, Bush, and Xi Jinping. This reflects Australia's growing ties with Southeast Asian nations as they seek to counter China's regional influence. It's always interesting to see the dynamics of strategic competition play out. And there you have it, folks. That's your evening briefing. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you make of Haley's criticism of Trump? Are you excited about Bitcoin hitting $50,000? And what are your views on China's Belt and Road Initiative? Join the discussion and let me know your thoughts. Remember, stay curious and keep exploring the world through the lens of the 6 degrees. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.